Arizona Cardinals might be out of one of their best coaches. No, not Drew Petzing, but report came out here that Clayton Adams might be on his way to Dallas. Let's go and dive right into everything that we know. Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack up that like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like it is not so much official, but when you hear from these big national guys like your Mike Garafolo, your Tom Pelissero, Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, when a report comes out, you seem to listen in, right? Now, this has to do with the Arizona Cardinals. We haven't had very much news around the whole offseason. We're all kind of waiting for March as well as April. And there were some people out there that thought that Drew Petzing was going to, either get hired somewhere else or get fired from the Cardinals. He's going to stay pat. I never thought his job was in danger personally, but this has been a name that we've been hearing for the last 2 or 3 weeks that the Cardinals might potentially not have heading into 2025. And lo and behold, Clayton Adams, a report coming out here from Mike Garafolo saying that he's actually going to be meeting with the Dallas Cowboys today. Now, he did have a virtual meeting already, but he is the favorite to land that offensive coordinator position under the Brian Schottenheimer's coaching staff. So the days of obviously who they used to have with McCarthy no longer in the books anymore. They are most likely going to pivot over to Clayton Adams, which is going to be the offensive line coach for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, let me give a huge shout out here to BetUS, the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here throughout the entirety of the NFL season. If you're looking for a brand new sports book, BetUS is the way to go. Currently, right now, if you use promo code YouTube150, they will provide you with a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and a 125% sign-up bonus on the following two. That's going to be using promo code YouTube150 upon signing up. Of course, bet responsibly and bet within your means. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to just be very clear. This is a big blow for the Cardinals organization. If you take a look at what he's done in his career, he's been a coach, not an NFL coach, but a coach for a pretty long time. He's got like over 10-15 years of experience. He's been coaching Western Washington since 2007 and 2008, but he's been kind of flirting around the idea of being like things like offensive line coach, a tight end coach, right? He's done all these different things, and for a lot of people out there that feel like this offensive line for the Cardinals was bad, it wasn't bad. It really wasn't. Like, what he's done with all the injuries that we had, let's be honest, Jonah Williams was probably one of the biggest splash plays that we made this offseason coming into 2024, and he was hurt a good majority of the beginning of the season. Of course, he showed up at the end. He kind of struggled a little bit, right? And I know a lot of people were kind of raving to bring back Kelvin Beachum in the right tackle position, but all the moving parts that we've had, Will Hernandez going down as well, Tristan Colon stepping up in there, and we also had some reps for Isaiah Adams as well, the rookie that we just drafted. So with what we've done, this could be a potential big loss for the Cardinals. And I get it, man. You're probably just sitting back and saying, oh, it's just an offensive line coach. There has been a lot of word saying that losing him could potentially be a big blow for the Cardinals. Now, here's the biggest question out here, right? What are the Cardinals going to do to transition if we do lose out on a Clayton Adams? Now, it definitely seems like it's going to happen. I know I've heard this already for 2 or 3 weeks that the thought of, leaving him or him leaving was a potential, but now hearing Mike Garafolo saying that he's going to be the favorite and he already did his virtual meeting and now going in for his physical meeting, it definitely seems like Clayton Adams is going to be on his way to Dallas, and rightfully so, right? Congratulations to all the things that he's accomplished in his career, and this is what this is what you want as a coach, right? Whether you started in 2003, 4, 8, 15, it doesn't matter, right? You all thrive to continue to get promoted, and this is a very good thing here for Clayton Adams, for him personally. So I just want to say, if he does get the job, which it seems like he's going to go to Dallas, congratulations and what he's done for the Cardinals. He's been our offensive line coach since 2023 under the Jonathan Gannon regime. But before that, he was with the Indianapolis Colts starting in 2019 to 2020. He was a assistant offensive line coach. And then in 2021 to 2022, he was a tight ends coach. But like I said, his track record in terms of being a coach, he's been a college coach since 2007. So for what it's worth, ladies and gentlemen, a big congratulations to him if he gets the job with the Dallas Cowboys. And like I said, he most likely is going to get it. But I want to kind of get a glimpse of where the Cardinals could potentially go after if we do lose a Clayton Adams, right? What is the next potential out there that the Cardinals can potentially go after, right? So let's go and take a look at our coaching staff. Let's be real here, ladies and gentlemen. Are the Cardinals going to go anywhere outside the organization? I mean, there's always a real possibility that we can go outside the organization, but I usually know how this organization works. We like to kind of build within internally, right? Promote internally. That's kind of what we do. But let's see, right? Let's take a look to see who could potentially be the next O-line coach here for the Cardinals. Obviously, Jonathan Gannon at the top of the tree right there. You got Jeff Rogers, our special teamer. You got Drew Petzing, which I know people probably opened up this video thinking that Drew Petzing was going to get fired. He's not going anywhere, but we're running it back in 2025. Nick Rallis, a defensive coach, and then you got Drew Terrell there as the passing game coordinator. So here we go. The offensive side of the ball, we got Clayton Adams right there as our offensive line coach, who could be his potential replacement, right? When you look at these type of things, you can look at anybody that's below him, right? Especially people that kind of have to deal with offensive lines, right? So the big guys that kind of really stick out to me right now on this list is probably going to be like Chris Cook, right? Because if you take a look at anybody else, we're talking about tight end coaches, pass team specialists, quarterback coaches, and down here is going to be your defense. So we're really not going to with the defense here very much. We're going to look on the offensive side of the ball, and the main guy that really sticks out to me is probably going to be Chris Cook, maybe getting a promotion and getting that offensive line potential promotion and being the next offensive line coach of the Cardinals. Or they can go externally, right? And they can go and promote. I'm sorry, not promote, but get somebody from the outside. But like I said before, usually how things work is probably going to be promoting within, but this is going to be a big blow for the Cardinals for sure. So the guy that I have my vote on is probably going to be Chris Cook, if I'm going to be real here. All we can do right now is sit back and see what is potentially going to happen. But usually when you hear a report here from those big-time guys, and Mike Garafolo, he most likely is going to be gone. Ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts here overall and what, Clayton Adams has provided, this Arizona Cardinals offensive line this whole year? I've been a pretty big fan of the O-line. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been a pretty big fan of the O-line. I know there's a lot of Cardinal fans that don't feel like they actually had a really good season. I think they had a pretty solid season, to be honest with you. Like, you also got to keep in mind that we were rolling with guys like Tristan Colon, right? Especially when Will Hernandez went down, and we talked about this a little earlier, but that's a pretty big good thing on its own. Evan Brown was brought in here in 1 year, and I feel like he was pretty darn solid for the Cardinals. Now, is he going to be future for Cardinals? Probably not. We're probably going to see an adjustment here of Isaiah Adams, if not this year in 2025. Maybe Isaiah Adams, maybe midway through 2025, takes over that left guard position, or maybe in 2026. But Kelvin Beachum, right now, I believe he is set to be a free agent, if I'm not mistaken. I know there's some Cardinal fans out there that want Kelvin Beachum to come back for at least like one more year. Because he did solid. He really did. But is it time for maybe Christian Jones to take over, right? We ended up getting him in a late round pick in this last year's draft. And we all thought he could potentially be a second or third round pick in Christian Jones. We just need to see it translate here on the field. So a lot of moving parts here for the offensive line, and what Clayton Adams has done this last year is pretty darn remarkable. I'll just leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let me know what your guys' thoughts here. What do you think what could potentially happen? Who do you think is going to get promoted? Who do you think is going to be the new O-line coach? Let me know here in the comments below. As always, a huge shout out here to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube, powered by BetUS. Looking for a brand new sports book? BetUS is the way to go. Appreciate you all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals.